Have you ever noticed how the people around you can affect your energy, mindset, and overall well being? Whether you realize it or not, the people you spend time with influence your thoughts, emotions, and even your future. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of who you allow into your life. In this video, I want to talk about 3 types of people you should distance yourself from. At some point, I was one of them. I didn't realize how much these mindsets were holding me back until I expanded my awareness and made the decision to change. As I grew, I also started distancing myself from people who embodied these patterns because I saw firsthand how they were affecting my life. Some individuals drain your energy, limit your growth, and keep you stuck in cycles of negativity. Instead of helping you evolve, they unconsciously, or sometimes even intentionally, pull you down, keeping you trapped in their reality. If you continue surrounding yourself with people like this, your progress will be slowed, or worse, you might stop growing altogether. Now, I want to make one thing clear. This is not about judging others or looking down on them. Everyone is on their own journey. However, if you're serious about personal growth, you need to be selective about who you share your energy with. Some relationships serve as lessons, while others serve as anchors that hold you back. So, if you recognize yourself in any of these categories, take this as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. And if you have people like this in your life, it might be time to set some boundaries or even walk away. Doing so will benefit both you and them, because sometimes distance is what's needed for real transformation. In this video, we'll break down the 3 types of people you should avoid and why they can be harmful to your growth, how their energy and mindset can influence your own thoughts and actions, why creating distance can be one of the best decisions for your well-being. This isn't about cutting people off recklessly, it's about making conscious choices about who you allow into your space. Your time, energy, and mental clarity are too valuable to waste on relationships that hold you back. The constant complainer. We all know someone like this. The type of person who, no matter what's happening, always finds something to complain about. It could be the weather, their job, their relationships, the government. Anything and everything is a reason for them to vent their frustration. And the worst part? They do it all the time. At first, you might not think it's a big deal. Maybe you try to be supportive, listen to their problems, and even offer solutions. But here's the thing. Complainers don't actually want solutions. They're not looking for ways to improve their lives. They're looking for an audience. And if you're not careful, you become part of their cycle of negativity without even realizing it. Let me ask you this. Have you ever spent time with someone who complains nonstop and left the conversation feeling drained? Like their problem suddenly became yours, even though they have nothing to do with you. That's because negativity is contagious. When you're constantly exposed to it, your brain starts mirroring that energy. You might not have been in a bad mood before, but after spending time with them, you suddenly feel irritated, tired, or even frustrated with your own life. Now, let's break this down logically. Every thought we have carries energy. The way we think, the words we use, and the emotions we focus on create a pattern in our minds. And here's the kicker: our brains don't differentiate between good and bad energy. They just follow the patterns we reinforce. If you're always focusing on problems, guess what? Your brain gets trained to look for more problems. It's a cycle that keeps feeding itself. And that's exactly why being around constant complainers is so dangerous. The more you hear negativity, the more you unconsciously start adopting the same mindset. It's subtle. You won't notice it at first. But over time, you'll catch yourself complaining more, feeling more frustrated, and seeing the world through a more negative lens just like them. So what can you do? The answer is simple, but not always easy. Distance yourself. If someone in your life is always complaining and never open to change, you have to ask yourself, what value are they bringing into your life? Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck? Ultralogical thinker. Now, this might sound strange, but hear me out. I'm not saying logic is bad. Rational thinking is important. But some people take it to the extreme. They only believe in what they can see, touch, and measure. Anything beyond that is dismissed. If you're someone who values personal growth, mindset shifts, or even spirituality, being around people who are overly rational can feel draining. They will challenge and dismiss anything that doesn't fit into their logical framework. Even if they witness something extraordinary, they'll find a way to explain it away. These people tend to ignore emotions, intuition, and deeper instincts. They believe that success only comes from brute force, working harder, pushing through, grinding every day. While hard work is important, true fulfillment comes from more than just effort. There's a mental and emotional side to life that they refuse to acknowledge. Many ultra-logical people build successful careers or financial stability, but deep down, they often feel like something is missing. Unshakable emptiness. That's because they've overlooked an important part of life: the unseen forces that shape our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. If you spend too much time with people like this, their skepticism can start to influence you. You might begin doubting things you once believed in. You might lose touch with your intuition or stop trusting your own instincts. It's not about avoiding rational thinkers altogether. It's about being mindful of how their perspective affects yours. Balance is key. The overly idealistic dreamer. Now, this one hits close to home because I used to be this person. And while being idealistic isn't necessarily bad, it can create unrealistic expectations that lead to disappointment. Overly idealistic people tend to see the world through a lens of perfection. They have big visions, high hopes, and expect everything to align exactly as they imagined. They either live too much in their thoughts, dreaming and planning but never taking action, or they're so energetic and enthusiastic that they exhaust themselves and everyone around them. I was the first type. I spent so much time thinking, analyzing, and creating ideas in my mind that I struggled to take action. My expectations were often too high, whether for myself, other people, or the world in general. And when reality didn't match my expectations, I felt frustrated. Being with people like this can be exhausting. They mean well, but often fail to see things as they really are. They get lost in theories and ideas, forgetting that life also happens in the real world. They find it difficult to situate themselves on the ground, which makes it difficult to connect with reality. If you're constantly surrounded by people who idealize everything, you can also start to feel frustrated. You may place unrealistic expectations on yourself or others, and when things don't go according to plan, you feel trapped in a cycle of disappointment. The key is balance. Be realistic with yourself. Know where you are and exist from there. Knowing your limitations will prevent a lot of frustration. Having dreams and ambitions is great, but they have to be rooted in reality. When you find yourself surrounded by people who are too disconnected from the real world, it's okay to take a step back and focus on what's truly possible. The people we surround ourselves with shape our mindset, our emotions, and ultimately our future. If you want to grow, evolve, and create a better life, you have to be intentional about the energy you allow into your space. Earlier, I mentioned how negativity is contagious. The same applies to everything else: mindsets, habits, even the way we see the world. Spend enough time with someone, and you'll start absorbing their patterns, whether you realize it or not. That's why distancing yourself from people who constantly complain, who refuse to see beyond what's tangible, or who get lost in unrealistic ideals is so important. They're not just affecting themselves, they're influencing you too. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life without warning, but it does mean you should start observing. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you leave the conversation feeling inspired and energized? Or do you feel drained, frustrated, or even doubtful of yourself? Your emotions are signals. Listen to them. And here's something powerful to think about. Just like you absorb the energy of others, other people also absorb yours, which means you have the ability to influence those around you too. Instead of letting negativity pull you down, what if you became the one to uplift? Instead of matching low energy, what if you raise the standard? Not everyone will follow. Some people will resist change, and that's okay. You're not responsible for fixing or saving anyone. But by focusing on your own growth, your own awareness, and your own energy, you naturally start attracting people who align with your path. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. Will you let the wrong influences keep you stuck? Or will you take control and surround yourself with people who push you forward? Let me know in the comments, have you ever had to step away from someone who was holding you back? What changes did you notice in your life afterward? Did you feel lighter, more focused, or more in control of your energy? Sometimes, distancing yourself from the wrong people isn't just about avoiding negativity, it's about making space for the right influences. The ones who inspire you, push you forward, and align with your growth. When you're surrounded by the right energy, you start thinking bigger, feeling more confident, and taking action toward the life you truly want. So take a moment to reflect. Who in your life is helping you grow, and who is holding you back? Are you making choices that align with your future, or are you stuck in patterns created by those around you? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next video.